Welcome to the Triumphant Magazine show, where we feature those that are doing extraordinary things, people that are doing extraordinary things unapologetically. And today we are fortunate and blessed to have Fired Up, which is a #1 bestseller through Amazon internationally. And we have the young lady that is the CEO of Fired Up. She is also a multi-collaborator when it comes to other books, which she'll be able to tell us about it in a few minutes. She's the visionary. She's also the self-publisher who came out in 2017. She's a mother of 2, and she's going to tell you more about that in just a moment. But she took 10 women that had a purpose. They were change makers and also visionaries, and she helped them bring forth their story and Fired Up, which recently launched December 2021. So we're so excited because right now they have it out there on an ebook, and I know they're currently working with Angie B and Bart T Productions to do an audiobook, and soon they will also have the paperback of Fired Up. So with no further ado, we would like to have Wendy Vijay introduce herself to our audience at this time, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Teresa, for the special welcome. I'm Rebecca Vijay, the founder and CEO of Fount of Grace Creatives. Like Teresa mentioned, I'm a multi-best-selling author and publisher. I've worked with Oxford University Press for around 8 years, and I've been in self-publishing since 2016. So now I help impact-driven change makers and visionaries share their stories and their message by writing and publishing their books so that they can have a bigger impact, and that impact would lead to a ripple effect. I am also a contributing writer to places like Goodman Project, Thrive Global, Momspresso, and Raising World Children. Okay. So my first book that I published in 2017 was about my journey through the death of my firstborn twin son, Jacob, and how I found comfort and hope in God. So My Angel in Heaven is the name of the book. And bringing that story out touched many bereaved parents' lives. And it also became an Amazon #1 bestseller in Amazon US, UK, India, and Australia. So that gave me the impetus that my sharing my story helped others. So now I help others to share their stories. And that's why I do what I do.
I love it. I love it how you took that situation and you became triumphant within the situation. Many people lose their children, and some of them shut up and they kind of keep it inside, and they don't want to allow other people to find out that part of them, that vulnerable part of them. And like you said, it's so needed. So I thank you for publishing your first book, like you said, in 2017, and then to find out all the different international countries rather, that it went to, and also the USA. So we thank you for doing that. So at this time, I would say to you, what would you like to say to other women that have lost their child? Some might have carried their child to like 9 months. Some might have kept their child till they was like 2 years old. And right now they don't have a kid, or they may have other kids, but they've been affected by this taking place. What would you like to say to them, to encourage them at this time?
Yeah. One, I think in our society, infant loss, child loss, pregnancy loss, they're all like taboo subjects. Yeah. And people want you to get over it, like, why are you still grieving? Right. It's happened, you just get over it. So, there is a part that wants you to keep all of that hidden inside, that you don't want people to know that, and the struggles that you're having. But, all said and done, right now, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like David says, that my child will not come back to me, but I will go to my child. So we know there is hope. We know that no matter how the story goes on, we know there is a triumphant ending. So, I know it's a very difficult phase and a difficult period to go through, especially with a lot of people not understanding, and there not being enough platforms and voices for you to share. But
Yes.
still, you can make a difference in someone else's life, showing them that you are also going through that. There is that vulnerability in
Mhm.
you, and like, it's best to share your story. Don't keep it hidden inside of you, because that'll slowly make you crumple and lose that light inside of you. So
Yeah.
just let that light shine, share your story, help many other people who are silently suffering through that.
And then too, I also think by you sharing your story, it helps your child to live on. Their
Exactly.
legacy lives on
Their
by you
legacy.
sharing it with other women and men that might have experienced the same.
Yeah,
So the next question
absolutely.
that I have for you is how long have you been working? Well, you said you've been working on collaborations. I believe you said since 2017. Is that correct? Or 2000?
uh Yeah, so since that time, I was writing my own books.
Yeah.
So I brought out my first book, then I brought out my novel, which was about four friends in school. So, like a middle grade one. Then I brought out a short story and some other books that I wrote. So, Fired Up has been my first multi author collaboration as a
Successful,
publisher.
successful
Eh,
collaboration.
yeah. So before that, I have been a part as a writer in one of the collaborations where we had more than 100 moms from around the world, where we shared a story of what to do when you're done expecting.
All right.
So
I
yeah,
like
so
that.
that was also a book that became a number one international bestseller, across different countries. So like it was really special time. Like we had, I think, 112 moms who
Oh,
had got together, and
quite a
we
bit.
had written that book, and it came out in 2017 itself. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, did you have like any dreams that you would be doing this like for other women, helping them pull out their story that they've been holding back inside of them for years? Did you have a dream?
Uh, I don't think so. Like I wanted to write by myself. That is definitely there. But it's after the passing away of my son, and when I started writing, first I started writing blogs, and
Okay.
then I got into self-publishing. So it was at that period of time that it changed for me.
Okay.
And now I help other women to share their stories. And the main part that now I feel is that women do not get opportunities, like the platforms that are available for men, the
Yeah,
opportunities that are so galore for them is not available with women.
that's right.
So we need to, get together and help each other, share our stories, share our vulnerable moments, share our voice, because one voice can touch many lives, and
Right.
just show them that we are sailing on the same boat, and if I can do it, this is my path for you to do it. And in that way we'll help many more women, thereby
Mhm.
helping many more families, because the women will then help their families, and have that spark, like well, Fired Up also, it was like, it's just a way to light a spark in their
That's right.
lives, and they can expand their vision and help change the world little by little.
Right, and I love your model, and you just kind of said it, where you have changing the world woman at a time. Why was that like so? And you gave us some of it, but tell us some more reasons why that was so important to you to be able to do that for other women around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, so especially with this pandemic going on, and a lot of other challenges that not just women, everybody is facing in their lives.
Absolutely.
It's a time of, I don't know, like depression and hopelessness for a lot of families. But then there is also a set of people who are thriving,
Yes.
who haven't been affected as such by this, and they are helping make the world a better place, make a difference in the world. So my vision is to help share those inspiring stories,
I love
share
it.
that message of hope, like all is not gone,
I
like
love
you
it.
might think that it's the end today, but it's just the beginning, and there are many, many more milestones that you have to cross. There is a reason for the pain, there is a purpose for it. So God has made each of us,
Yes.
and he's kept each of us here. Like last year, so many people passed away during the different waves. Like even my mom passed away during the second wave.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah, so it was like for us like a silly reason that we couldn't get a hospital bed for her,
Oh my gosh.
and she passed away gasping for breath.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, but God has kept us here.
Yes,
So
sir.
there is a reason that he has allotted for us, and there is a purpose for us. So we just need to explore that and help make someone else's life a little better. We can't do much, but at least we can show that the possibilities exist, and we can definitely make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have like a motto of my own. A lot of times we're looking for the world to change. And sometimes we have to become the change that the world needs to see. And that's what you have done with your platform. Many people can use their platform to uplift, build up, or either tear down. But like I said, you're becoming the change that the world needs to see. And even the other 9 visionaries and change makers and fire up, they have decided to do the same unapologetically. Now, the next question I have for you is, what are some challenges that you faced, like with doing your very first collaboration? I think you said Fired Up was your first one. What are some challenges you might have faced, and how did you overcome these challenges?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, one of the main ones was the passing away of my mom. So
Absolutely.
after that, for a few months, I kind of went into hibernation.
Right.
So it took a lot of effort to get out of that, because I was committed to the women that, this book has to come out.
Yeah.
And some of the challenges were like kind of funny as well,
Yeah.
because we had women from around the world. So
Yes.
finding a time for our calls, like we used to have calls sometimes weekly, sometimes in 2 or 3 weeks. So we had people in the time zone of Pacific. We had somebody in Australia at that time. So getting all of them together on a
Yeah.
call was like such a task. And we used to be like, so at the end, I had like 2 coaching calls each, like that particular
Work
week, so
out.
that half people can come for one and half people can come for
That's
the other. Yeah, so that was a challenge, and yeah, overcame that by having 2 sets of calls. Otherwise, we had an amazing team of women, and their stories are really touching, and
it's certainly one.
it's really been a pleasure working with each of them to help bring out their stories and their message. And now, like they're there sharing that story with the world. So it's been really a blessing to have reached so far.
Yeah, it is a blessing, like you said. And like I lost my mom as well in 2019. So, and with the magazine, I know what you mean. It was like it's almost like having a baby. And you know that it's there and you got to push it even harder. And they're like, go ahead, we see the head, we see the feet, and you still pushing. This was your baby. This was your baby. And I'm grateful that you fought through it, because of that, you have people that are motivational speakers, and they're doing even greater things because you had the platform that you had. So I'm thankful that, like I said earlier, that you're willing to share it with other women. You created that platform for other women to shine,
Thank you.
as well as yourself, be able to shine and give God the glory. Like how you said earlier, you're giving it back to him. And I often think about the scripture where it's Romans 8:28, and it says, all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So it never told us one thing or two things would, work out. It said all things. So that means the good, the bads, the ups, the downs, because of the fact that I know you're also working on another collaboration. So could you tell us about the upcoming collaboration you're working on as well?
Sure. So this one is called Planted by the River. So in this, like I mentioned, that there are many who thrived also during the pandemic. So this is a way for me to get them to share their inspiring stories,
Yes,
that despite there being this downturn in the economy and there being so many things going wrong,
right.
things were still going right with a lot of people. And we need to focus on the hope that is there and not look at what the news is saying and all the bad things that are happening and like pull us down and get us even more panicky and anxious and
Yeah,
worried. But God has a purpose for us. He
yeah,
has kept his perfect protection for us. So there is, like I said, a reason. And so Planted by the River is like, despite the situation, you will still uh, not just survive, not just exist, but you will thrive. So that is the one that I'm currently working on. I also have two other collaborations. One is for bereaved parents to share about their angel or share about their journey
I love
through
it.
the death. And the last one for the year would be for mompreneurs, how they are managing, how the moms are managing their families as well as their business.
I love
Because,
it.
that line is a very thin line, because now that most of us are working from home, you never know when your work starts and when your life starts. You're like juggling multiple things at the same time.
That's it.
So that's the third one. That's for later down the year.
Okay. Now, how can someone that's interested in being a part of any of those collaborations, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Sure. So you can send me a mail at publishing at rebeccavijay.com, which is publishing, PUBLISHING, @REBECCAVIJAY.com. So you can send me a mail, and we can have a call as well. So my calendar link is calendly.com / Rebecca Vijay /breakthrough call. So we can get together on a call, and you can also message me, and we can get your story and get your message across to the people who really need to hear that and
Okay,
be blessed with it.
that's it. Now, is there a deadline for Plant by the River? Is there a deadline for them to send you the information?
So for that, right now, the deadline is about the middle of March.
Okay,
So we still have some
fine.
time.
Okay, which is awesome. And thank you for giving us that information. And what recommendations would you have to someone else that's interested in getting with women the same way you are? What recommendations would you give them if they're doing it for the very first time?
As in like getting a collaboration together
Just
or writing?
collaboration, and then you can expound on the writing portion as well.
Sure. So I think like when I started off with Fired Up, I had just that idea in mind that,
Right.
fired up, getting people to see the possibilities and expand their vision. So like that, you can decide a topic, a theme that you want to work on, which is close to you. You know, it could be about a challenge. It could be something about, a letter to your younger self. It could be your a health issue, anything, whatever you are interested in. And then you can get people who are either experts in that area or people who want to share their stories in that area. I don't know, maybe like a book on people who are suffering through migraine.
Mhm.
So how it is a debilitating disease, but still people are using their remedies. And you might have some doctors along who can suggest, you might have some coaches along. So just first select your topic. What is the topic that you want to get people together on, and then select who all you need to include in that. Would it be doctors? Do you want lawyers? Do you want women who are business owners or entrepreneurs? So once you have identified who is the correct writer for you, And then you can start looking out for them. You can reach out in different platforms like Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Instagram, and other places wherever your followers are, and get them together on this. And so basically, writing one chapter in a whole book while the publisher takes care of everything. So, they just need to write a chapter and at the end promote the book. So the responsibility with you would be to get it edited, get it laid out and design, the cover design, then promoting it and all. So it's like a wonderful adventure. There are a lot of moving parts in that. So, you can, either learn more about it or get in touch with people who are already doing it and they can help you out with that. But then this is like a great idea, because what you're passionate about, you can have that topic.
Absolutely.
And then you can find women, men, like whichever target audience that you're looking at, and you can get it's just a small group of people, maybe 10 women together or 15,
Right.
and then have them write that book. And it'll it could also be like maybe a devotional book, or it could be some characters that you're interested in, or your life story. But believe me, that book is creating a legacy. And it'll help you, your family, future generations, your authors. They'll touch many lives. And you won't regret, no matter how many like sleepless nights you have to go through, and so many other challenges are there.
You're right about that.
Yeah. So it'll all come together in the end. And when you like you hold the book in your hand,
yes,
it'll give you that sense of accomplishment, the sense of feeling that you have really done something and made like a little change in the world. So go for it. Whatever.
a significant change in the world. A permanent dent in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome information. And thank you for sharing that with our audience. And what would you say to writers, those that feel, how can they get themselves to write and put that story out there to share? What kind of encouraging words would you like to leave with them?
Yeah. And like what I would like to say is that everybody has a story. So even if you do not consider yourself a writer, you do not consider yourself an author, you still have a story that will touch many lives. So just go ahead and write your story.
Yes.
It could be a short one, it could be a long one, depending on what you want to share. But you just go ahead and write. There are a lot of professionals who are out there, like editors, proofreaders, and others who will help polish that. So you don't need to worry that, is my story ready for consumption by the world? Because right now it might not. But then when you work on the first draft, then the second draft, then the third draft, so by the end of it, it'll be a story that will help you reach a lot of people. So, like even like the first draft, I always suggest that, don't edit while you're writing. So right now it's just like sand that is being, put together for the castle. Yeah. But unless you have those words written down, you won't have anything to edit. So if you get lost in that rabbit hole that, I want to make it better and better and better, it doesn't, you'll just be seeking perfection and nothing will get done. Yeah. But once you have the first draft ready, then you can, add things, delete things, move things around and find better, more appropriate words, and have a lot of people helping you. You can have beta readers, you can have your friends and family go through it, give you suggestions. But it's simple if you just follow that. It's one word at a time. So you're just writing one word at a time. And so once you look at a staircase, it'll seem very overwhelming, but just take one step, then you will see the second step, then you go the next step, then you go the next step. So if you break it down into manageable steps, it's super simple, and you can have your book out, within a few, maybe 90 days, you can have your book out. Just allot a time, maybe it's 15 minutes a day, whether it's 30 minutes a day, just put it on your calendar.
Yes.
And, when you get this reminder, just sit and write. So it's something that, it's also like maybe your responsibility, that this story has been entrusted only to you. It is unique to you, and it will help others. It will give them a platform. It will give them a voice. So are you ready to, let your light shine, to
I love
share your
it.
story with the world?
I love it. Let your light shine. I love it. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful, Rebecca. Thank you for sharing
Thank you.
that. Now, how did it
Thank you.
feel when you, like how you said, you finally, you've been working so hard, you've been through all kind of trials and tribulations, and finally Fired Up is here. We're launching it December 2021. How did you feel when it finally came together, all that diligent and hard work that you put in and the other 9 women put into it? How did it feel?
It was amazing, but at the same time, Amazon was going through a lot of issues at that time, because it
Yeah.
was the Christmas rush, and there was the servers had issues at that time, and a lot of things were not happening as it should have.
Right.
So it was more a time of tension, that this is not happening, that
A
is
lot
not
of
happening,
tension.
this is not this is not coming through. But uh, at the end of the day, it all came uh, you know came through. And it
Yeah.
was it started off as a bestseller in Australia, then it became a bestseller in US,
Wow.
and it remained a hot new release with the orange banner in US for almost 3.5 weeks.
Wow. What a
So yeah, so it was really, um, really special to have that, the first book that I did as a publisher, and had these amazing women around,
end
and we were able
results.
to get that result. So I just thank God that he's been there through each of those journeys, even
Good.
when we felt that we couldn't do it.
That's
He
it.
was
There
there
all
to give
the
us,
time.
yeah, that's a that guidance and support. So right now we are working on the audiobook, which has been beautifully narrated by Angie, and we're working on the paperback, and
Yes.
also we are doing a virtual summit with the authors.
That's going to
So
be awesome. When is that scheduled?
that is scheduled for the third week of February.
Oh, that's going to be really nice. That's going to be really, really awesome. And like you said, the audio book through Angie B Productions, that's going to also be awesome because people will be able to listen to it everywhere, whether it be on their phone, their computer. They can use it anywhere, running, walking, just sitting down. So that's awesome. That's a home runner, just having that in itself. And I can't wait, like you said, to have the paper book back because that's going to also be a #1 best seller internationally. So I tell you, my hat goes off to you for being the remarkable woman that you are, and the
Thank you.
incredible blessings that you're putting out there, not just for yourself, but blessings for others. And like I said, that is truly a great legacy to leave in the world and a great mark. Now, the other
Thank
question that I have for you is for when did you decide that you wanted to be a blessing to like other women, like sharing the story like you said about grief and how you were able to get over grief and get over a death? When did you decide that I'm going to turn the situation around and use it in a positive way?
Yeah, so I was working with Oxford University Press. I was heading a commissioning team. And then when my younger son was born, so that time, like my daughter had some this thing in school, like she got 0 and 1 in her test. And she was 5 years old at that time. And I was like, like, what is like money at this point of time? So I decided to take a break. I decided to spend time with my children at that time.
Awesome.
After that, a few years down the line, I was like, how can I make a difference? How can I use the talents, the skills that I have developed? And so then I started exploring ways, and then I went back to writing. Right? That's something that I've always loved. So I got introduced to blogging, and then I got introduced to self-publishing.
Okay.
So that marked the change that, I wanted to share my story with the world. And I joined self-publishing school in the US, and so they have a great program, and I found a great, vibrant community there who helped, give suggestions and help other people launch their books and all. So, like when I look back,
Yes.
like God has been leading me each
Oh,
step,
I love it.
because yeah, so I lost my son in 2009,
Oh, wow.
and like my daughter now is like almost touching 13
Oh, almost
right
13
now.
years old. Wow.
Yeah. So like if that hadn't happened to me, I might have like gone ahead with my life as it was, and
But there
things
was a
would have been
purpose. There was a
it would-
purpose. Mhm.
yeah. So God has like given a purpose for each one of us, and given us all people that we can touch and hopefully influence in a little better way. So like, so no matter what happened, I'm like thankful that God has chosen me as a vessel, because there are times when, like what I've written, I'm like, did I actually write that?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So
But
it's been
say
a
he's been
wonderful.
leading you. Like you say, he's been leading you this whole entire time, the whole entire time.
So that's how the journey started. Like I wanted to use my skills in publishing that I had developed over the long years, and as well as write. And so now, and bringing these like different women together was something
Yes.
that I started maybe a year back.
Right.
Earlier it was more focused on my writing, and then I was like, now that I have learned and I have done it,
Yes.
I know it's possible that I can help others also to do it.
Lesson.
So I started my company in 2018, and I was providing publishing services. And since last year, January, February, I decided to become a publisher.
Okay. That's
So
a blessing. I'm so proud of you. Very,
thank
very,
you.
very
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
Thank you.
And is there anything that we haven't discussed yet that you would like to go ahead and mention at this time as well?
Yeah, I again would just like to reiterate that go ahead and share your story. It could be in the form of a blog post, or maybe a Facebook post, or a video, or a podcast, or a novel, or a non-fiction book, anything. Just share your story, whichever medium you decide to share it in, because someone somewhere is waiting for that. And with all the boundaryless world that we are living in now, I'm sitting in India, and I'm able to talk to you in the US, and we had ladies from Canada, from UAE, all got together on this project. So your message, don't think that that's a small thing.
No.
It's bound to create that ripple effect. You just start. The hardest part is the starting part.
That's
So
it.
once you start and you build up that momentum, everything will come together. If you are not able to do it, don't worry, there are like many people in the world who can support you in that.
Absolutely.
You have different people helping you with publishing, helping you with podcasting. Everybody is there. They're like on the online community, I've found so many like women and others who are really like they're helping.
Yeah.
Like
That's important.
you just put a question, you'll have so many answers. I did it like this, do like that. I did it like this, do like that. So there are so many opportunities right now for each one of us, and there is no better time than now. What are you waiting for? Like if not now, then when?
Yeah, and like your book said, get fired up.
Get fired up. Absolutely.
Get fired
Fired up and light that spark in someone else as well.
That's it. Keep the sparkle
So,
going.
yeah. And also like one thing I forgot to mention is that all the proceeds from the sales of Fired Up, we are giving to a charity called Samadhan, which means solution. And they work with children who have intellectual disabilities and marginalized women as well.
That's
So
awesome.
all the proceeds are going to this charity. So
Wow.
do support the children as well as and also the roadmaps. So each of the author has shared their roadmaps, their methods,
Yeah.
and a step-by-step method on how you can have insights in your business life, your professional life, your uh, spiritual life, how you can be a little better. What are the steps each of us are using? So I have given my 5 steps on how to write and publish your book. We have Angie B sharing about roadmap to peace of mind. Lorita has talked about how to pray, 5 steps. Then we have how to overcome your limiting beliefs. So
Wow.
each one has, and also like, how to own your own home, or how to create a financial foundation for yourself and your family. So there are like a lot of nuggets hidden in this book.
Yes.
Just get a copy, and you'll not just be helping children have a little better life, you'll also maybe help get transformed.
That's it. That's the truth. That is true. Now, do you see yourself doing a part 2 to Fire It Up? Will you do like a second part of it and maybe a third part of it as well?
Yeah, I had been exploring that,
I
like
can
a
see it.
series. Yeah, different uh yeah, like a different volume for that series.
I could
Yes, I
see it.
have been thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could like see it, just being series of it, different ones. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's awesome, very awesome. So definitely I want you to go ahead and give the social media ways that we can get in touch with you. Also tell us again about the upcoming one that you said is going to be completed. I believe you said in March, or everything's due in March. If you could just put that out there one more time for us, please.
Sure. So you can reach out to me on my email, which is publishing@rebeccavijay.com. And you can find me on my Calendly link as well, Calendly, calendly.com/Rebecca Vijay /breakthrough-call. And we can set up a call and talk. The next collaboration that I'm doing is Planted by the River, how you can share your story and inspire others to thrive even during the difficult obstacles, during difficult situations like health challenges or financial challenges or pandemic. So, just to inspire others to know that there is something better that can also happen.
Yeah.
So Planted by the River is the next collaboration. So the March 15th is the deadline for authors to join. And we are looking at a release in the 3rd week of May.
Okay, that's quick. That's real quick. That's awesome. Quick turnaround too.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Yes.
So we definitely want to say thank you so much, Rebecca, for being here. You heard it firsthand on Triumphant Magazine. Once again, go out there and support Fired Up, because we want you to become fired up. And like we said earlier, leave a mark and be able to change the lives of women and even girls out there. So Rebecca, we just want to say thank you for being here with us on the Triumph Magazine show. We know that you're going to be successful with whatever you put your hands on, and we pray that God will continue to bless you exceedingly and abundantly in all that you do, as well as all that you say. So thank you for being here with us today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Teresa, for having us, and for the Triumphant Magazine team to have us all on your magazine and to have this interview series with each one of us. Thank you for helping us share our message.
Absolutely.
And
it's a great message. It's a great message. And I love like how you said it with your motto, change in the world. What you said? one
One woman,
woman at a time.
woman at a time.
That's it. And once we're going to close by saying, get fired up. If you're not fired up, get fired up and get this ebook, and pretty soon the audiobook and paperback book of Fired Up. So we're going to say thank you once again. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Take care, Rebecca. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.